Howdy, Jacob here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. So I know for 99.9% of companies, I value them based on earnings and free cash flow. For, 0.009 or something, I do a balance sheet review where you look at a net basis. What is their net working capital? What are their total liabilities? If you were to sell the company off based on their parts, what would it be? And could you get that for a reasonable price based on what their current market cap is? And a lot of times now, there's not a lot of heavy working capital businesses to where you can find those net businesses. But there really is a third one that I think is pretty commonly used, and you can see here I have Hawaiian Airlines, and it's mergers, and so um, this isn't, if you want to buy it, buy it. If you don't. This is just to give you a third reason to possibly purchase a company that isn't based on earnings or free cash flow or a net. And so Hawaiian Airlines is actually, to me, a company that used to be great pre-COVID, and then they just like dropped off a cliff and couldn't figure things out. I know companies like Southwest, Delta, United have definitely dropped their margins from maybe double digit down to single digit, but Hawaiian Airlines actually is seeing negative growth or negative margins here, and that's likely due to the fact. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in Hawaii, and majority of their flights are from Hawaii, and so or to and from Hawaii. So I think that there has been quite a bit of problems there. Maybe demand hasn't spurred quite like it's been in the past, but um, we're definitely seeing a problem their uh, with their margins. They're really not making any. And on the free cash flow side, it's really the same story where they're just not producing cash. But through a possible acquisition, Alaska Airlines is saying that if the Department of Justice agrees to this merger, if all of the shareholders agree to this merger, then we will purchase the company 1.9 billion. That's inclusive of some of their debt, but that would be on $18 a share. And we can see now that it's $13.14. So this actually was done in December, um, where you can see from a price perspective. Well, I guess I don't have it up, but it jumped up very heavily when that occurred. Let's do a 1 year chart. So we can see, yep, the date it happened, boom, jumped from $4 a share to $14 a share. And again, it's not $18 a share because obviously people are not as confident that the deal is going to go through. And so the less confident people are that the deal is going to go through, the greater difference you'll see between the actual purchase price and the current price, which we saw last year. If you ever were looking at Activision Blizzard, they were purchasing it for $94, $95 a share, and it really hung around that 75 to 80 mark for quite some time, meaning that I think people were kind of thinking that the company was worth maybe 50 to 60 bucks a share, and they were maybe 50% chance it was going to happen. So it was really between that and that, which is kind of similar to what you should be doing here if you want to do an analysis based on mergers. So what we can see here is that their current price is $13.13, 14 cents, whatever. And they're saying, Alaska Airlines is saying by mid 2025, we will definitely know. And now we'll see that they've actually, they came out with an 8K, Hawaiian Airlines did, saying that they have 90 days, them in Alaska, to send all the reports to the Department of Justice. And from there, they make a decision. Now, I think the reason a lot of people are hesitant about this is there was another airline deal that did not go through recently, and that is going to be your Spirit and JetBlue. And so I have a couple reasons for why I think that the Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian merger is quite a bit different. But the JetBlue and Spirit Airlines did not go through. And really, I think they definitely had some comments in this article. If you want to take a look at it, um, just maybe look that up. You'll probably find it. But it didn't go through because of quite a bit of things. So Spirit is a small airline, but there are those who love it, They don't think there'll be competition. Airline industry is already an oligopoly, which, I mean, that's facts. The merger will likely incentivize JetBlue to further abandon its roots. Okay, no credible evidence. The biggest reason was really right here. JetBlue and Spirit have 99 nonstop overlap routes, which is between 30 and 40% of JetBlue and Spirit's nonstop routes overlap. So there's a heavy amount of overlap, and you're looking at two companies that are very similar, offering cheap prices for their business. And so if you just buy all the cheap things, then you can sell it for you. Then you can make the seats a lot more because you have a monopoly there. And so I think that was the big concern there. Whereas what I've seen with in a couple articles now, it's about 4%. I'm seeing 4%, 6%, sometimes even 2% of the overlapping flights between Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. So obviously, Hawaiian Airlines, majority of them come from and to Hawaii and to all the West Coast. So between Hawaii and Alaska, obviously, there's some overlap. Between Hawaii and Seattle, there's some overlap. Portland, probably some overlap. But this is saying only 6 of their collective 336 collective routes are in competition from the merger. And so we saw here that this is 30 to 40%, and they're in the selling of cheap seats business, whereas Hawaii Airlines was created to have a lot more ease to get to Hawaii, and then also within Hawaii there's a lot of mergers. And Alaska Airlines has said they have zero plan of ever removing those inner Hawaiian flights. And then I think the third thing I want to bring up is that JetBlue and Spirit are the 6th and 7th biggest flights based on units per seat, and Alaska's already 5. Hawaiian's down here at, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is one monthly departing seat for U.S. airports. So it's really not increasing Alaska Airlines that much by them consuming Hawaiian Airlines, and I think it does help them compete better with them. Whereas JetBlue really isn't in the business to compete with American, Southwest, Delta, United. They're just not the same animal. And so to me, I think if I were you, I'd be thinking about, okay, what's the probability that I think it'll go through? Because if it doesn't go through, you do have a very bad possible outcome. The business price, the stock price was $4 before this merger went through. So if this merger doesn't go through, you could lose 70% of your investment. That's a big deal. But if you win, and again, we don't know, maybe it's even more than that because their business is producing, less cash. But if it does go through, you get 37% in, they said mid 2025 by the latest. So this could be anywhere from 37% in 6 months to 8 months to a year. We don't necessarily know, but you're going to have to balance out your risk tolerance with, risk and reward. If you're just using, a little bit of money, maybe that makes sense to you. If you're very confident, good for you. I just wanted to bring about a third reason to possibly buy a stock, and that is mergers and acquisitions. And I think sometimes there can be some possibilities there. I'm not saying this is a possibility, or it is a possibility, but I'm not saying do it, don't do it, whatever. Do what makes you comfortable. Do your own research. Do what's comfortable for you. I just wanted to show a third way of pricing a company and using, your own judgment to possibly invest in the company or not based on the acquisition price. So anyways, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully learn something new, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.